चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले, जहाँ गम भी ना हो आंसू भी ना हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले। आ चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले, जहाँ गम भी ना हो आंसू भी ना हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले। दोस्तों, हमारे जिंदगी में हर किसी के जिंदगी में बहुत सारे उतार चढ़ाव आते हैं। हमारे ज़िंदगी में कुछ ऐसे पल भी आते हैं जो हमें तोड़ देती हैं, जो हम बहुत सारी स्ट्रेसफुल मोमेंट्स रहते हैं, बहुत सारे पीड़ा भरे पल रहते हैं जिसे हम भुलाना चाहते हैं। और उसी दौरान जिस वक्त से जो तन्हाई से हम गुजरते हैं, जो अकेलापन से हम गुजरते हैं, उस मोमेंट पे कभी किसी से बात करने की इच्छा नहीं होती है। हमें हमेशा यही लगता है कि कोई तो आए और मेरा हाथ थाम के ले चले ऐसे गगन के नीचे, जहाँ गम ना हो, जहाँ सिर्फ प्यार ही पले, जहाँ सिर्फ खुशियाँ ही खुशियाँ मिले। नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं आपका उदय भाइना और मैं लेकर फिर से आ गया हूं आपका अपना भी उदय भाइना शो, अ जय उड़ीसा इनिशिएटिव। उम्मीद करता हूं कि आपका ये वीक अच्छा ही रहा होगा, क्योंकि मेरा तो ठीक ठाक ही था और मैं थोड़ा सा नर्वस भी था और टेंस्ड भी था, बिकॉज today's episode is something that is really close to my heart, so much so that probably I couldn't have I'm just falling short of words to be able to describe what I'm going through right now. तो ज़्यादा वक्त ज़ायर नहीं करते हुए मैं अपने गेस्ट को निमंत्रण देना चाहूँगा। तो ये जो मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल हैं, आप लोगों ने देखा ही होगा, ये वही इंसान है जो मेरे उस तन्हाई के दौर पे, जब मैं yes, I was a depressed soul at some point of time, and I used to feel very lonely with people around. भीड़ में भी हमेशा अकेला पाता था अपने आप को, बहुत ज़्यादा सैड रहता था, बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्टर्ब रहता था। तो उस वक्त इस इंसान ने मेरी उंगली थाम कर, मेरी हाथ थाम कर उस गगन के नीचे लेके गई, जहाँ पे इन्होंने मुझे प्यार की अहमियत समझाई, इन्होंने मुझे लड़ना सिखाया, इन्होंने मुझे खुशियाँ बांटना सिखाया, और खुशियाँ कैसे, गम को कैसे कम करते हैं, पॉजिटिविटी कैसे लाते हैं ज़िंदगी में, इन सब चीज़ों से सिखाया। शी इज़ अ मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल, शी इज़ बीन अ टॉपर ऑल हर लाइफ. She did her MBBS from the prestigious SEB Medical College, Cuttack. Then she went on to do her MD in psychiatry from the most prestigious college in the country called Lady Harding in Delhi, and now is an associate professor with Gandhi Medical College in Hyderabad, and is a senior consulting psychiatrist with Roshni Counseling Center in Hyderabad. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for the most awaited Dr. Sri Lakshmi Pingali, and buckle up yourselves and put on your seatbelts. I'm going to invite the lady of the evening, Dr. Sri Lakshmi. Dr. Sri Lakshmi, are you there? And I can see a lot of people. Thank you so much for your love. Ripal Upadhyay, Dr. Ramakrishna, Purna, Sid Bhagwatullah. And there you are. ये आपका इंतजार था। डॉक्टर श्री लक्ष्मी, आपका कैमरा से हेलो चरण स्पर्श करते कैसी हैं आप?
बढ़िया 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 उदय भाई ना, आपका गाना भी अच्छा था, बढ़िया था। थैंक्स फॉर द कॉम्प्लीमेंट। सो फॉर ऑल द लिसनर्स टुडे, आ चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले, जहां गम भी ना हो आंसू भी ना हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले। Let's talk about let's talk about how to deal with mental health problems. Let's talk about not making it a big issue than it is. Let's talk about breaking the chains of stigma. Let's talk about opening up and sharing our pain so that everybody else has the courage to do it. And Uday Bhaina, I'm very impressed with your courage to come out in public. We need more people like you, my friend.
Thank you. And this courage is none other than you. You've been one of the pillars in my life, and I am
I really don't have any words. मैं इंसान मानूं, मैं अपनी empathy मानूं, should I be saying I'm begging you? I really don't know. I just cannot belittle this relationship part by just expressing it in mere words, right? मैं आपके लिए क्या फील करता हूँ मैं जानता हूँ, और ऊपर वाला जानता है, मेहरबानी है कि उन्होंने आप जैसे इंसान, I mean, before we even get into those and opening up other and viewers, I've received a lot of questions from people before, even before the show, and a lot of people wanted to ask you a lot of questions. The question I wanted to ask you was, you are a voracious, you have been a topper on it. You are a passionate lover. I have never seen love animals, especially dogs, like you do, right? You are, passion is not compassion personified, right? You are a psychiatrist who defines compassion, right? So, I wanted to ask you, with so much of stress around, and it's because one pandemic like COVID, we able to realize what love and acceptance is. With so much stress around, how come you still don't look your age? You look like you're 20 years old. How do you do that?
I may be 20 years old, you don't know. You're assuming you're assuming I'm more than that. But anyway, psychiatry is a science, mental health is a science. So we have this things, when I go into a party and my husband introduces me and says, she's Dr. Sri Lakshmi and she's a psychiatrist. People tend to step back a little and say, oh my God, psychiatrist, can you read my mind? I don't read minds. I'm not a psychic, I'm a psychiatrist. So let's start the talk with telling you who exactly is a psychiatrist. So I have slogged 5.5 years on my MBBS, and then I did my MD in psychiatry for another 3 years. So I'm a medically qualified person, so I can treat medical illnesses. So just as आपको देख के आपका कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट नहीं बोलेगा कि भैया आपका हार्ट ना थोड़ा सा PQR इंटरवल ज्यादा है या शायद टैकी है. Just like a hepatologist, gastroenterologist will not see and see, I think your liver is enlarged a little bit. You need treatment. No, you come to us with problems. We tell you the solution. It is not about I reading your mind or I being a psychic or I telling you that this one, I'm a psychiatrist only across the table. Everywhere else, I'm as normal as anybody else. Hopefully.
Okay. Wonderful. I mean, that's in fact amazing. But Doc, I wanted to in fact ask you by starting off that, in today's environment, it's a very loosely used word. Am I audible? Is my voice echoing, Doc?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. Give me a second, please. Is this okay?
It's better now, yes.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you, very loosely used term. You say I'm stressed out, I'm I really wanted to know what is the difference between stress / anxiety / sadness / depression. What are the indicators? How do we identify that this person is depressed or this person is going through stress or whatever?
So you're basically asking me whether there is what's the difference between, since your voice is echoing, I'm repeating a question for you. You're asking me what's the difference between stress, depression and anxiety. The problem is, in mental health, the line between normal and abnormal is very thin. Have we not all felt angry, very angry, unreasonably so many times? Have we not all felt very sad many times? Have you not even felt suspicious? मान लीजिए दोस्त के साथ लड़ाई हो गया and both of you enter the room simultaneously. आपका दोस्त थोड़ा आगे जाता है. He talks to a group of friends who turn around and look at you and laugh and then continue with the conversation. You will think, अच्छा मेरे बारे में बात कर लिया. ये जाके मेरे बारे में सब बोल दिया. So this is what the problem is. There is all normal symptoms that we feel is also felt in a psychiatric disorder. So the line dividing is very thin, and therefore people get confused कि अब ये मुझे हो क्या रहा है. So let's define it like this. आपको अगर stress है, that means you're irritable, angry, anxious, ये सब भी होता है, sadness होता है. But you're still a functional human being. You're able to do your work. You're able to anchor. You're able to do your job as a doctor. You're able to study as a student. जिस दिन ये थोड़ा बढ़ जाता है, it goes into the realm of a disorder. Disorder is a medical condition. Please be aware. By talking good or by thinking positive or by exercising, a disorder will not go away, right? Just as jaundice, अगर हम अच्छे diet से ही ठीक कर सकते हैं, ठीक है, but दवाई भी की तो जरूरत होती है because the liver needs support. मलेरिया हम एडिक्वेट रेस्ट लेके ठीक कर सकते हैं, बट यू नीड मेडिसिन टू किल दैट ऑर्गेनिज्म इनसाइड योर ब्लड. Similarly, when you're depressed, your chemicals in your brain, the connections in your brain are not working optimally. So you need medication for that. It's very difficult for the common person, to the lay person, to know. So you know that when your functionality starts getting affected, आप काम नहीं कर सकते, you can't cook for your children, you can't study, you can't concentrate, you can't do your daily activities, then you know that definitely this has gone into the realm of a disorder. That is the basic criteria by which you differentiate.
Okay. So, for example, so are we saying that if it starts affecting my daily lifestyle, or for that matter, I'm not able to concentrate on my work, are we right to conclude that I'm depressed?
If it affects your lifestyle to an extent and for a very prolonged period. See, agar somebody died in the family and you're unhappy for a week or 10 days, that's absolutely acceptable, right? It's a cultural thing that you're going to be down. But if this is disabling to you even after 6 months and you're not able to go ahead with your life, then there's definitely something wrong. So, I've had... I'll just give you the example of a patient. I will like to keep telling you about my patients throughout this presentation, because I'm hoping that some of them will connect to the people listening to us. So there was this man who had lots of thoughts in his head. Anxious thoughts, kal kya hoga, parso kya hoga, what can I do, what can I do? How will I solve my problems? How will I solve my issues? And he did finish his engineering. In the next 4 years, he never gave an interview with the fear that he would fail. Then he heard my talk somewhere and came to me and got better. And just as he was leaving Hyderabad for a different state for a better prospects, he came back and told me, "Doctor, I want to thank you because I never knew what I had was a mental illness. The day I started medication and therapy, I'm so much better. I'm able to focus, and I'm back. I'm back." That's the word he used. So, which means that unless once your functionality is disturbed to an extent where it is affecting you as a human being, people around you are noticing that kuch to gadbad is bande mein. Then you know that the illness has started and needs treatment.
So how do people make out depressed? Like, for example, I'm a victim of depression. Okay, sorry for this, but my team said that my voice is echoing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Can you keep checking me? Is it okay now?
No, it is actually still echoing quite bad.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, but I think your net is also a little, because you keep breaking.
Okay. We'll continue with it and we'll see what can be done in the meantime. My team is already working on it. So my question was, if I am a victim of depression, and obviously there are times that I would like to distance myself from people, because first I have been through it and I know it. And that's the reason why, give me a second, I would like to use the other one. Sorry for this technical glitch, Doc. Just give me a second.
Better you than me. I'm totally not tech savvy.
I'm just trying to use...
Yeah, somebody is asking you to drop the caller mic.
Is it okay now?
Oh, yes, much better.
Thank you, Vaishali. Yeah. So for viewers who don't know Vaishali, she's my younger sister. She helps me in all my logistics. Okay, moving further. So Doc, I wanted to ask you, like, for example, I have been a victim of depression for close to about 6 years. And this has been the time when I had lost all my confidence. This was the time when I just didn't feel like meeting people or mingling with them or socializing with them. I mean, the basic tendency is to distance yourself away from them, right? Because you are under this constant pressure that people will judge you, people will say, and come to think of it, when I used to confide in my very close friends or people, whoever, even before reaching out to you, they would usually rubbish me off by saying, "Chalna yaar, depression kuch nahi hota." So that adds on to your irritation, right? Because you consider them to be your friend, but eventually they end up rubbishing you, not because they don't love you, it's because they want you to believe that aisa kuch hota hi nahi. It's their way of expressing love. What they don't understand is I need a person who can understand me without me telling him anything.
Yes. Yes.
So the question is, how can people make out what are the indications and what triggers depression more so? Maybe we can start with triggers and then tell us how can people view that this guy यार थोड़ा गड़बड़ लग रहा है, इसमें कुछ तो problem है. Let's spend some time with him.
Yes. So the triggers of depression is your question. So first question, I'll take it first. And if I forget the next question, forgive me. I am not 20 still. So I am here. I will forget the next part. You remind me. Okay. So the first part is how are the triggers? Now, understand depression is a medical condition, which means that you need to have a genetic tendency to get there. Okay. Mostly. Or so when you're born, some patterns happen in the brain, which makes you more prone. तो आप इस तरह से समझो ना, that आप एक छत बना रहे हो. In Orissa, we do the dhalai of the chhatto, no? Okay.
Correct.
If you take off the foundation too quickly, ठीक है ना, ये कच्चा रह जाता है. That's what happens during brain development. तो कोई भी stress आए, with a normal chhatto, no matter if a 100 kg fellow is jumping on it also, it stays. But for a one which is not so great and not so very strong, it will bend a little during stress. That is the time when the person is stressed and they generally bounce back. There's the other time when the pressure is so great. Now imagine this 10 kg man, I'm equating it to the various stresses we have in our life, right? So this stress, when it increases to an extent, the entire chhatto collapses. What you need to do? You need to rebuild. तो foundation तो होना ही है. बिना foundation के depression आता नहीं है. What is this foundation? Nobody knows. Most common indicator that we ask is, do you have a family history of psychiatric illness? Most people do. You know how common it is. Anxiety runs in families. The depression runs in families. Alcoholism runs in families. Panic attacks run in families. And these are quite common disorders. It is as common as, maybe a diabetes or a blood pressure, but we have made it such big demons that we don't want to talk about it. So once you have these foundation, then as you grow up in your life, the stresses start to fall on you. You can have multiple stresses. You can have a financial loss. You can have a job loss. You may be going through a bad time with a uncooperative spouse. So all these things will tend to worsen your condition, and you will tend to get into the called depression, or how I call it, the complete collapse of your stress-bearing mechanism. And it takes an effort to build it back again. So how do you know कि बंदे में कुछ गड़बड़ है? Like you said, people should know that they are depressed. Let's first discuss about how do you know that you're depressed in the first place? Most people don't know. So let me just give you a quick definition of our textbook definition of depression.
Sure.
Depression, you should be feeling low all the time. Low all the time means that सुबह शाम उठते जागते सोते बैठते you are feeling low, sad, crying kind of low. Okay? कुछ भी अच्छा हो जाए आपके इर्द गिर्द आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता. Nothing makes you feel better. That is the first cardinal sign. The second is you're very lethargic. So many parents come and tell me that Doctor साहब ये मेरा बेटा जो है ना दिन भर सोता रहता है, उठता ही नहीं बेड से. That's because they're so tired. The body is not simply accepting that they have to get up and get out. Okay? And then there are these people, then you'll have loss of pleasure. कुछ भी हो जाए, आपको 10 करोड़ की लॉटरी लग जाए, आपको कोई मन से कुछ भी खुशी नहीं होती. That's the way it is. Then these are the 3 cardinal symptoms. And then you come to where you are guilty for unnecessarily, you're having a lot of lack of concentration, you're angry, and worse, you're suicidal also. You don't like talking to people, you prefer to withdraw, like you've very well pointed out. So these are the things which when they come together and stay continuously for at least 2 weeks, then you understand that you possibly got into depression. So how do people surrounding you know? People will see that there's a sudden change in behavior. बंदा तो हंसता खेलता था, अच्छा खासा था, अब बिल्कुल भी बात नहीं करना चाह रहा. He's staying all the time alone. And worse, you feel that he may be thinking of suicide. So हम सब में एक डर है कि if I ask this fellow that, Bhaina, are you in a suicidal mood? I'm not going to put that idea into your head.
Correct.
I'm not going to put
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
It sometimes is a relief that उस बंदे को लगता है चलो किसी को तो समझ में आया that I don't feel like living. किसी को तो समझ में आया कि I want to talk. So this is how the need or the desire to kill themselves or feel bad and all that comes out. So anybody who has a doubt that your family members or close friends are depressed, the best thing you can do is to give them a non-judgmental listening. आपको लग रहा होगा कि बोल देंगे कि चल यार कुछ नहीं है, लाइट ले ले यार, कोई नहीं, चल जॉगिंग के लिए चलते हैं, कल चल मस्ती मारते हैं, चल सुट्टा मार के आते हैं. These things don't work. What you could do definitely is sit down and tell them, कोई प्रॉब्लम है मुझे बताओ, I'll listen. I can't do much, but I will at least listen to you. You know, that's half the work done. You have mentioned earlier about Roshni Counseling Center. So let me just add here that we run a helpline in Hyderabad called Roshni Suicide Helpline, which is running for the last 20 years. And these people are so good, so good. They're all volunteers who just donate their time, 8 hours at a stretch. And they work, you know what they do? They will simply listen. You don't tell your name. You don't tell your who referred you. Simply take the call up, pick the phone, dial the number and say, look, I'm feeling sad. I want to talk to someone. And there is that friend who's listening to you non-judgmentally. So this is one good thing. There are lots of helplines all over India. Roshni is one such in Hyderabad.
So, Doc, I mean, that's a brilliant point you've made, which brings me to my next question. So I was just running through some statistics over the last 1 week where in India, especially every 1 lakh people, we have about 17 people committing suicide, right? Whereas the international average is close to about 10 people committing suicide. Now, and it took one life of a superstar called Sushant Singh Rajput, while it's still debatable, and I'm not really sure whether we should be able to include it or not, but assuming that it started off on a note of depression and graduating into being murder or something. When Sushant Singh Rajput passed away, it affected me personally. And it not only affected me personally, but it affected thousands of people. And the reason I'll tell you why, partly take so much of time, but the reason why it affected me was commoner who had achieved success. So we were seeing ourselves in him. That's number one. Number two, for a young chap, 24 years old, academically brilliant, fantastic physical fitness, fantastic acting skills, humble, modest, and yet committed suicide. So, and I've had people where they looked up to me and said, oh, bloody hell, he's a criminal. And that actually pissed me off. What I was hurt most about was the pain that he would have gone through before he committed suicide. Because I would like to believe, Doc, and correct me if I'm wrong, behind every suicide, there are 50 people who have not given a patient hearing to that person. Otherwise, why do people commit suicide? What pushes them to take that extreme step, Doc?
Yeah. So suicide, like you said, there are two different types of suicide, shall we say. Those who really want to die, as opposed to people who are doing it just, as a cry for help. So people with a real intention to die, there are two aspects to it. One, that it's an impulsive suicide. Ladai ho gaya, husband se ladai ho gaya, I'm very angry, I don't want to live. And you get into the bathroom and take up whatever is available and drink it up. Okay, that is one aspect of suicide. It's called an impulsive suicide. Another is a well-planned suicide. Well-planned suicide, you've been thinking about it for days, and you plan it so in such a manner that you cannot be saved. So you wait for a time when nobody is there at home, you lock yourself from inside, and then you commit suicide. So impulsive suicides are many precipitating factors. Anything can cause an impulse like that, right? You suffered a major loss and you're not able to look beyond that. You have a financial loss, somebody died, your spouse died or your pet died, and you're so unhappy that you feel that I better join that person. So this is an impulsive thing, and what matters the most here is the time. The time where you talk out these emotions, your emotions settle down, and you realize that, look, थोड़े देर में शायद दरवाजा बंद हो गया हो, पर शायद खिड़की जरूर खुली है, and I can open that window to let in sunlight into my life. So this is the time that is required, the few minutes that you require to get there, right? The other one is the well thought of suicide. A well thought of suicide, I'm seeing also questions of whether they are, how people seem to be appearing normal, but they can still continue, they commit suicide. Tell us about that. I saw in one of your questions. So it is unlikely that a person is absolutely normal and then thought of suicide for a very long time and then committed. Definitely signs of mental illness, the signs of depression or anxiety or alcoholism and schizophrenia, so on and so forth, would have been very obvious in this person. They would have planned a very well, they timed it well and then attempted it. So we should understand that there is no person who goes without warning signs. So they would start giving away their stuff. They may not be very overt warning signs. Like they would be they pretend happy to you, but they start giving away their stuff. They start writing that I want to die. They are more and more withdrawn. They cut off from you. They go off into a direction. All this tells you that these are warning signs and this person needs help. So it's up to you to reach out. But you're very right in you say 50 people are responsible. Let me tell you, majority of people who have attempted suicide have met a medical professional in the last 48 hours of their life. Can you imagine the responsibility on us?
Wow.
Yeah. So, which means we also have failed them. We did not ask the right questions. We did not tell them that you should, this is not your answer. Suicide is not the answer. So many of them have met a mental health professional in the last 48 hours and have expressed it to their families or friends in the last 1 week. So nobody goes without warning signs. It's quite rare. So we should be on the lookout for the signs.
Okay. So how can we prevent them? Because I get a feeling that we are failing them. And is there any way that we can prevent it?
You are doing a wonderful thing by doing that. Talking about mental health, making it normal, normalizing it. See, if I saw your other shows and I saw how entertaining they were. And to call me as your third guest takes a lot of courage. To talk about untalked of topic, to touch on topics like depression and suicide, it takes a lot of courage, my friend. And to actually come out and say that, look, I also suffered. Now, to the audience, I want to tell you that this is a living example of how you can turn around your life despite struggling with depression. Now, I am coming out with this because he has come out with it. Otherwise, I don't break confidentiality. But because he has himself told you that I've been depressed, look at him now. Look at him. The way he's turning his life around, the way he's fighting back, the way he's reaching out to people, trying to help more people like him. I don't have words anymore for. I am at a loss for words. Not everybody has the courage. This is the problem. Not everybody does. So, क्या होता है हमारी जिंदगी में क्या होता है? If I tell मेरी बेटी ने सुसाइड अटेम्प्ट किया या फिर वो उसको आवाजें आ रही हैं, उसको स्किज़ोफ्रेनिया है, या फिर मेरा बेटा डिप्रेशन में है, एंग्जाइटी में है, तो शायद उसकी शादी नहीं होगी, या फिर उसके ऑफिस में पता चल जाएगा तो शायद उसको निकाल देंगे, या फिर वो स्टूडेंट है तो फिर वो शायद वो काम नहीं कर पाएगा, he will not be, कॉलेज उसको निकाल देगा, which is also quite possible actually, because our society is so closed minded. It's quite possible that this may have happened. So, but who is society? It is you and me. The more we talk about mental health, the more we talk about issues, the more help we give them. Like our helpline that we give, we run free camps also that in Roshni Counseling Center that I work in, we work with one policy that no person who comes through our doors will return back unhelped. I'll explain how. If he needs a psychologist, he'll get a psychologist. If he needs a marital counselor, he'll get one. If he needs a psychiatrist, he'll get one. He doesn't want a psychiatrist despite needing, but still wants to go to a psychologist. We allow that also. And most importantly, if he doesn't have the money to afford our fees or the medications, we ensure that he's referred to our free camps, which we run twice a week, so that they're gotten help and medications also. So this is the kind of effort we're making. Right? The Roshni helpline makes, the Roshni Counseling Center makes, and the trustees behind them are doing a lot of work to push this into mental health, to open up. But unless everybody talks about it, unless every person, खांसी जुकाम की तरह mental health, stress, depression एक common discussion जब तक नहीं होता, ये चलता जाएगा. तो जब आप बोलते हो कि depression कुछ नहीं होता, जब आप बोलते हो कि suicide वो बेवकूफ था वो suicide कर लिया, मैं होता तो नहीं करता, जब आप ये बोलते हो कि मेंटल इलनेस कुछ नहीं होता, ये सब नाटक है, यू आर अ पार्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम.
Wow. So, Doc, I wanted to ask you, like in my life, I'm going to quote some examples of my life. Right? I failed in my 9th standard. That's the first time I was embarrassed. I was sad. And more than anything else, I was feeling out of place because I had to study with my juniors, right? Then I went to do my engineering. I completed my 4 years engineering in 5 years. That's a different story altogether, right? Then, having gone from a small place like Bhubaneswar, which was then a small place, which is right now, I went to Bombay. I got into depression again, or maybe it was a cultural shock for me. I really could not accept the crowd there. Girls smoking, using, colloquial language, unparliamentary language. It was a shock. I was a small towner. Having spent almost 20 years in Bombay, in the last 5 years have been really tough for me, right? Because I lost my maternal uncle in 2018. In the same year, I lost my dad. Then some problems arised in my medical issues, which were later on went on to, kind of got settled, and we separated, we got divorced, and all of it, and we are good friends. We're good friends now. Then I suddenly fell sick. I had back surgery. I was hospitalized for months, and then while I thought I was doing very well professionally, I lost my job. Right. So there was too much that was going on in my head. Right. So the question that I wanted to ask you is, during this entire process, I would crave for affiliation. I would crave for affection. I would crave for sympathy. And if someone used to show me sympathy or affiliation, I used to cry. Tears would roll down. I would cry. I would look for emotional videos on YouTube and look at those videos and cry. You know, so the question that I'm trying to get at is, people from metros, if not well educated, are like to be able to talk about depression without the fear of being judged. What about people from small towns? Because the moment they want to confess, in Odisha, you know, or in Hyderabad, are you mad or what? So in Marathi they would say, "Doka phirle chakai," you know, dimag ghum gaya kya? So you're being insensitive to these people. What is that advice you would give to these people from small towns and small cities? How to open up? How should they be opening up?
Are we really a small town? Do we really have small towns anymore is what you need to see. Many of my patients come from rural Telangana. You know why? Because they have access to social media. So shows like yours help to reach out to people, to make them understand. I do a lot of shows. I do a lot of shows with the same express purpose that I want mental health to be a common byword in every house. Bhook lag raha hai, depression hai. Itna common ho jana chahiye. So that people are coming out. And yes, you know, lots of people come. But the problem, and the small towns or rural areas are far more resilient than us also in many ways. They take a lot of pressure, they take a lot of stress. But yes, when they do have need, they go on to log into social media and they actually find solutions. So whenever we post or do anything on social media, because this has become one of the major things of information output these days, be very responsible, please. Do not just, I have people. Can you imagine, from an educated family, a family calls me up and says, doctor, I have taken this medication, but I read on the internet that it causes me addiction, it may cause brain damage, if it causes, I will become a vegetable, I will sleep all my life, I will not be able to, function properly. I said, madam, if all that happens, please sue me and put me in jail. Because no medicine is like that. No medicine is like that. See, and our movies also have a very big role to play. I'm sorry, I don't want to blame, but the responsible movie making is very essential. You have these movies where, the hero is tied up in chains and it's shocked, next day he's forgotten everything.
Is that true? Is that true? Does that happen?
How can it be true? How can it be true? If it is true, then, all our 50% of our patients will be roaming around like vegetables in the society. Yeah? What is this?
Absolutely.
What you don't know, because we can't reveal actually. The problem with psychiatry is, डॉक्टर तो बोल ही सकता that ये फलाना मेरा पेशेंट था, ठीक है ना ही मरीज बोलता है कि मैं इस डॉक्टर के पास गई and she is very good about it, except for few stars like you, not anybody likes to open up. But you'll be surprised. I am a very medium practitioner. को बहुत ज़्यादा practice नहीं है मेरा, but in that also I have patients who are stars, movie stars. I have patients who are bankers, doctors, engineers, lawyers, you name it, from every field. They'll be sitting right next to you and you will never know. So ये धारणा जो है कि दवाइयों से जो है दिमाग का दही बन जाता है, ये बहुत गलत है. और इस चीज से अगर आप चलोगे तो दिमाग के लिए जो जरूरी पोषण है, जो एनर्जी गिविंग है, जो मेंटल स्ट्रेंथ को बढ़ाती हैं, जो स्ट्रेस बेरिंग कैपेसिटी को बढ़ाती हैं, आप अपने दिमाग को अगर वंचित रखो उससे, तो डिप्रेशन तो बढ़ेगा ही, आप डूबोगे और साथ में आपके इर्द गिर्द सभी को ले डूबोगे. सो इट इज नेसेसरी टू लिसन टू वॉइस ऑफ रीजन. So as I'm saying, if you want to know information, read from authentic sites on social media. ऐसे इर्द गिर्द chat rooms में जाके पूछोगे तो उसको क्या, God knows what that fellow is going through. He will say that the psychiatrist is nonsense. वो खुद पागल है. I hope I'm not looking mad to you. That's also one common myth. Common myth that जितने साल psychiatry में गुजारा, डॉक्टर उतना पागल हो जाता है. So I'm almost done. I'm almost 20 years done in psychiatry. I still look sane, I hope.
So which brings me, and that's a very interesting point you made. You deal with such cases, if I'm permitted and allowed to use that word, cases, or you deal with so many people with some issues, mental health issues. How do you maintain your sanity? I'm sure there would be days when you would just pick up the phone, bang it on the bloody wall and say, I am done with this. I am done. And yet you wake up with the same rigor, if not same renewed rigor the next day, and you bloody blast the shit out of people. How do you keep yourself motivated?
One thing is the sanity part is because it's a science. That is one thing. And second, what keeps me motivated is the sheer helplessness of these people. I took psychiatry by choice. My father-in-law, when I was about to take my, he's no more, so I can freely say that. So when I was about to take my MD seat in psychiatry and I had gone with my husband, he says, no, ask her not to take because her children will be all born mad. So this is the kind of level of stigma I faced, but I was determined, and my husband made up a story and sort of got me out of that situation. But I have a brilliant 15-year-old. So psychiatry is not, psychiatry per se is not genetic.
Of course you do. So is your 15-year-old close by? Can we see him?
He's a shy 15-year-old.
Okay. Can he just come and say hi? If that's...
Can he, Rishu? He's worried about his hairstyle, you know. The 15-year-old
no
who's looking to him.
I'm sure you are a killer. There you are. Hello.
So apart from the hair, he looks quite sane. So blame it on the lockdown. So what keeps me motivated? Coming back to your question, what keeps apart from the fact that they're helpless people who need help, who need our support 100% because they can't talk for themselves, we need to talk for them. We are talking of people with depression and anxiety who are articulate people, who are well-to-do people who can talk. There are people who suffer from severe schizophrenia, who are completely cut off from reality, who cannot speak for themselves. This is the time where we need to bring awareness to ensure that their safety and their comfort and that they're being treated well. Also, I have this, I wonder if you're coming to that. I have a deep relationship with bathroom singing. So whenever I'm down...
Yes. In fact, I was going to ask you that to make it, your Insta handle says you are psychiatrist by profession, passionate animal lover, and a melodious bathroom singer. तो एक गाना तो बनता है डॉक्टर साहिबा आपके साथ. एक गाना तो आप एक गाना सुना ही दीजिए.
सुनाऊंगी, पर उसका स्टोरी और उसके बाद वाला भी मैं सुनाऊंगी. So I was a student, like you introduced me. I was a good student who loved to get marks, and I was a very stressed student who always wanted to get 100 on 100. I would never be happy with 99. I would always cringe for that 1 mark that I lost. Over the years, I learned how useless that was. And I want to tell all adolescents and all parents who are listening to me that पॉजिटिव रेनफोर्समेंट बहुत जरूरी है. अपने आप को शाबाशी दो, अच्छा बेटा बहुत अच्छा किया. 50 भी मिला तो चलो बढ़िया हुआ, नेक्स्ट टाइम 60 होगा. 99 मिला तो आई एम द किंग ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. Don't angle for that one. It's simply not worth that stress, right? But since being a competitive person, I would love to. The way I keep myself motivated. Now, I want to, with due apologies to everybody who goes through mental illness and struggling with it. This is not to belittle your suffering in any way. जैसे कड़वी गोली खाने के लिए थोड़ा सा शहद उसमें हम मिलाते हैं ना, इसीलिए इसी तरह टू मेक मेंटल इलनेस एवरीडे टॉपिक, टू मेक स्ट्रेस एन एवरीडे टॉपिक, थोड़ा सा उसमें गाने भी मिला दीजिए, पोएट्री मिला दीजिए, डांस भी मिला दीजिए, तो लोगों को जल्दी हजम होता है. So I'll tell you how I used to keep myself motivated. Most of my issues, illnesses, therapy, everything I mix with songs and to keep it in my head. Now if I start singing in my clinic, they will treat me. So there's no question.
No. I mean, this is so interesting. I mean, could you please not stop and just go on?
So whenever I used to have a exam and I had so much of competitions, I would tell myself this: इतने बाजू इतने सर गिन ले दुश्मन ध्यान से, हारेगा वो हर बाजी जब खेले हम जी जान से, हारेगा वो हर बाजी जब खेले हम जी जान से. So that would perk me up and I would say,
I've got goosebumps on that song. In fact, this is from a movie called Main Azad Hoon, and I grew up with this song. Me and my best friend Rudra, we grew up with this song. Doc, can I request you one thing? Can I request you one thing? Why don't you and I sing this song together? And I would request my viewers and anyone who's online to hum this song wherever you're sitting and watching this. Let's do it for ourselves together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. इतने बाजू इतने सर गिन ले दुश्मन ध्यान, वो हर बाजी जब खेले
हम जी जान से.
इतने बाजू इतने सर गिन ले दुश्मन ध्यान से,
हारेगा वो हर बाजी.
आओ जग पे छा जाओ, लगो इतने
बाजू इतने सर, दिल ये दुश्मन ध्यान से, हारेगा वो हर बाजी.
Take a bow, Dr. Saiba, take a bow. What a song, man. What a song. Please carry on. Lovely song.
Yeah. And your voice is awesome. I think you missed your calling.
Oh, did I? But
yes,
better late than never.
Yes, better late than never. You are a path breaker. You're showing us that age is just a number. And you can restart and reboot your life anytime you want to. So,
I know. Thanks to you. You were my Krishna Bhagwan. If I was Arjun, you were my Krishna Bhagwan. You showed me the way.
Yeah.
Yes. You were saying. So, what else do you? What other songs do you relate to therapy, or if you could give one, two examples?
Songs again? Okay. So let's talk a little bit about therapy, and then I'll tell you about songs. So many times you have to, how does psychiatric treatment work? Psychiatric treatment is not always just medicine. We are a team of doctors who are working. So we are the psychiatrists there who are the MBBS, MD, and we are the psychologists there who are PhDs in psychology. They're counseling psychologists. They are child psychologists. They are marital psychologists. They are special educators. There's so many people working to address your different issues in life. So psychiatrist to dawai likhta hi hai, and we had quite a good discussion about the medicine. What does the psychologist do? The psychologist does therapy. Now, therapy can be of various forms. For example, if you have distorted thinking in your head, why is this happening to me? Many zindagi mein aise kyun hota hai? So, there's something called a cognitive behavior therapy, where they change your cognitions. Cognition is the way you think. They will teach you the way you think. There's something called relaxation exercises, where they will teach you to breathe. There's something called supportive psychotherapy, where they will just simply support you to take your decisions. There's interpersonal psychotherapy, where they will teach you, especially when you're in grief or loss of relationships, they'll tell you how to deal with it. Then there's something called mindfulness. Here the songs comes in, okay? So I cannot let go of any presentation without bringing the Bakra and my husband into it. So let's let me talk about him. No, he's my lucky mascot too. Lucky mascot Bakra he is. So this is a song, this mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Let me tell you, and then I'll tell you how I want my husband to do that mindfulness. So mindfulness is when you sit with your eyes closed and your body in a relaxed phase. You're visualizing something beautiful around you, and with all your senses, you're connected to the environment. And slowly, when you see your thoughts floating through your mind with a non-judgmental approach. So the thoughts come and the thoughts go, but you are in a state of peace, right? So this is called mindfulness. Very effective, very small things. I'm sure you'll find it on videos to YouTube to do it. It's very effective. If not, pranayama is also good enough. So if my husband wanted to do mindfulness, what I want him to do when he would do, what I want him to feel when he's doing mindfulness. So he will sit with his eyes closed, and when he say, Dr. Saab is also doctor, Dr. Saab, aap aankhein band karo, and you imagine something beautiful around you and feel it with all your senses, then he should be thinking it like this, in my opinion. He may not, but in my opinion, okay? मैं सांस लेता हूँ, तेरी खुशबू आती है, एक महका महका सा पैगाम लाती है, मेरी दिल की धड़कन भी कोई गीत गाती है, पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो. Now you understand why he called me my Bakra.
Amazing. You just can't let go of your talent. We want. You said bathroom singer. The world is a bathroom. So much of shit going around. We want you because you're best. Why don't you? One more song.
Maaf kar bhaiya. Your audience will beat me now. The song should come from you now. You tell us what you learned from the entire session. You tell us. You just check your time. I don't know whether we're running out.
No, we still have time. That's not a problem at all.
So you tell us what you. Why don't I question you?
Yeah, we can do that. But before we do that, I have one last question to ask of you, which is, typically I have a lot of friends who are married, who have kids, and what started off as a journey of love and trust and faith has seemed to have faded over a period of time. seems more like a compromise, right? So what used to be something that we used to seek in that individual today seems to have become an irritant for him, right? Because of which people, especially men, I speak of men because most of my friends are men, they would often lie to their wives saying, "Acha, main aa raha hu." Basically because, you know, कुछ नहीं चाहिए यार, अपने को छोड़ना यार, क्या करना है. They get into fights. There is this ego trip that we get onto, you know. But then most of them have kind of switched over to alcohol, and you know, they find solace in alcohol or maybe cigarettes or something of that sort. You know, as a psychiatrist, would you be able to address this issue? Is there any way that these people can address it? How do they keep their relationships healthy, happy, and how can they seem to have lost themselves for a period of time? Is there anything that you can do as a psychiatrist in this?
Possibly it's more a counselor's question, because we don't call it an illness, right? Unless he's gone into alcohol and become an addiction. But since the psychiatrist also counsels, at least this psychiatrist does, so let me answer on behalf of all my psychologist friends also. So every marriage is a compromise. Let's not kid ourselves and say, oh, we are having a lovely marriage and everything is good about it, right? We learn to live with the differences. We agree to disagree. And we both have to give each other space to agree to disagree. It should not happen that I married you thinking that I will change you in the long run. ऐसा कौन करता है यार? आप 25 years अपने माँ के अंडर पला बड़ा है वो बंदा, क्या चेंज होगा? वो नहीं होगा यार, वो चेंज नहीं होगा. If he's throwing dirty towels on the bed, he's going to throw it. Yeah, you learn to live with it. Okay. So you choose your battles wisely also is my advice to all couples. ये छोटे छोटे बातों पे बहुत लड़ाई होती है बहुत घरों में. टूथपेस्ट का और ये टिप्पी ऑन लगाया नहीं, तुमने डर्टी ये कर दिया. बड़ी बातें यार, बहुत बड़ी बातें होती है. If that guy or the lady is loyal to you, which is seeming to be a rare quality these days, if they respect you and if you like each other, that is what sustains. Well, my mother had very nicely told me about when I was about to get married in my teenage. She says, "ये love shove कुछ नहीं होता." So in Telugu, she said, "Prema doma em undadu." If you can marry the guy you think you will respect for the rest of your life. What remains is respect and affection. And I absolutely agree. After almost 20 years of marriage, that is what remains in this in a relationship: a mutual respect and affection for each other. Don't expect running around trees and singing romantic songs. Nahi hota. Okay. And having said that, see, channels of communication should always be open. I know men like to not to tell the entire truth. They like to, you know, get out of the house, bahut chat rahe yaar, send some mother-in-law jokes, send some biwi ka jokes. But it is both ways. The wife is also suffering equally. So you have your own set of friends. Don't have too much of expectation from your spouse. The spouse should not be a friend, should not be a brother, should not be a sister and mother and father and everything. Nahi hona yaar. It becomes stifling, right? It becomes claustrophobic. So you have your own set of friends. You meet each other in the house, learn, respect each other, agree to disagree, have thoda kam expectations. That will make life most easy.
Wow. Superb. I think, Doc, now we've had enough of mind-boggling discussions, and I don't know why, you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is around. Like, here is Dr. Shmi Pingali, who's pulled me out and made the man that I am. अगर मैं आज खड़ा हूँ अपने पैरों पे और अगर आज मैं कुछ कर पा रहा हूँ, it's only because of this lady who's been like a mother to me, and she's been with me all my life, and I can only say, Doc, stay blessed all your life and be happy all your life. The only thing I can give you, I can't give you money. What I can give you is sincere regards, warm regards, prayers. I'm actually too emotional. I almost have a lump in my throat. I don't end up crying. But it's such an emotional moment for me to be. First of all, तो मैं इस काबिल भी नहीं कि मैं आपको इंटरव्यू कर सकूं. ये आपका बड़प्पन है और आपकी ह्यूमिलिटी है कि आपने अग्री करा कि मेरे साथ थोड़ा टाइम दे सकें, मेरे दर्शकों के लिए टाइम. I think you were brilliant today, but I'm not going to let go without some fun round, right? I'm going to ask you some super fast questions and people need to know the fun part of you, and they need to know the amazing woman that you are behind being apart from being a psychiatrist, you are, right? So these are going to be rapid fire questions. And whatever comes to your mind first. Right? Pick up your favorite author, Arthur Conan Doyle or Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie.
Okay, fiction or autobiography?
Fiction.
Okay, Famous Five or Nancy Drew?
Famous Five.
Okay, I know that you're scared of horror movies. Purana Mandir or
Purana Mandir. I don't want to watch it ever in my life again. It was a terrible movie I had to watch. So frightening. I was so young. The entire movie I watched with my head in my aunt's lap, and it was terrible. And I have a terror of darkness even now. Let me tell you again, a psychiatrist is not necessarily a sane or a complete person, okay? हम में भी बहुत ही खामियां होती है, डर बहुत रहता है हम में भी, है ना? Because I'm a human being at the end of the day. So horror movies are my weak point, yeah, bhai.
Okay. So 60s, 70s music or 90s music?
70s.
70s. Okay. What is your favorite quote in life?
It beats me, but maybe all's well that ends well.
Okay, amazing. Which is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie will be Sharmili, the old one. I'm not that
And
old,
which is your-
yes. I'm not that old. It is my mother's. It's my mother's time movie, but I love it.
Okay, and which is your favorite book?
Gone with the Wind.
And which is your favorite song?
There are many.
Any one
it's
song.
impossible.
Any one song that you like.
Maybe Raat Kali Ek Khwaab Mein Aayi, something like that.
Can you please sing that for us?
I knew there was a trap somewhere. You really want me to sing it?
Yes, ma'am. Indeed.
I hope the viewers are not bored, but anyway. So again, my husband, at this age, after 18 years of marriage, I hope he sings this to me one day. I hope he sings it to me every day to keep my confidence up. After all, I'm a woman who looks into the mirror every day and says, ye baal yahan, ye baal wrinkles yahan, and age is catching up. So it goes like this, these lines which I would want him to sing to me, and I hope listening to me. I hope he's listening to me. काफी अच्छा गा लेता है वैसे. So this is it. यूं तो हसीनों के महजबीनों के होते हैं रोज नजारे, पर उन्हें देख के देखा है जब तुम्हें, तुम लगे और भी प्यारे. बाहों में ले लूं ऐसी तमन्ना, एक नहीं कई बार हुई. रात कली एक ख्वाब में आई और गले का
हार हुई. Awesome. So
Thank you.
before we sign off, and I know, thank you so much, Doc, for giving us this time. There's one last question that I wanted to ask you. This pandemic has been really hard on all of us, right? And people have lost jobs. People are going bonkers. They're not able to move out of the house. People have lost their confidence. Is there anything in particular that you would want to suggest that we should start doing in order to regain our confidence, to bring back our normal self? Because what we seem to have realized during this pandemic is प्यार और support कुछ नहीं है, basic necessities भी हो तो हम रह सकते हैं. But then people get affected. People are affected. People have lost their confidence. I did when I lost my job. So is there something in particular as an advice that you would want to give all our viewers and me in particular so that we can start doing this?
Yes. So to see, सब साथ में डूबे हैं, सब साथ में उभरेंगे. Understand this. Nobody is having it easy. If you're not having a job, I'm having to go to a hospital which has all positive patients and work every day and putting my life at risk. So everybody is going through it, and we'll all go in and we'll all come out also. Let's focus on the positives. We are having time like never ever. I always used to grumble. If I had a little more time, I would spend more time with my son. I would tell him stories. I would do this. I would do that. Dekhte 15 saal ka ho gaya. I never spent that time with him. But now I'm having the time. And I'm doing so much with him. So that the time that I could give him so I turned my negative into a positive so that I can give. So do that, all of you. You have time at hand. Go back to your hobbies that you love. See, I'm singing now so openly. I never sang in my life on a live show. So it's because I'm practicing regularly in the bathroom, which is why I'm singing. So so if you love to sing, if you love to dance, if you're a fitness freak, if you have wanted to read a lot but you never had the time, this is the time. Utilize it. You will never get it again. Once the pandemic is over, हमको लगेगा काश मैं कर लेता. I wish I had utilized those few months I had in time. So पीछे मुड़ के गिल्ट नहीं होना चाहिए, पीछे मुड़ के सेल्फ रिग्रेट नहीं होना चाहिए. जो टाइम अभी मिल रहा है, live in the present, enjoy your present, utilize it to the fullest. कोई अवार्ड्स की जरूरत नहीं है, अभी तो कंपटीशन भी नहीं है. You don't have to even compete with the next door person to show what you're doing. Do what gives you pleasure. The quote which I read, you can't go out now, so please go inwards now.
Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Sri Lakshmi Pingali in her true self, the healer, the magician, the path breaker, whatever adjectives that may suit her best. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting one time again, Dr. Sri Lakshmi. Dr. Sri Lakshmi, thank you so much for your time. And before we sign off, I wanted to, I could see some requests coming in asking me to sing. And if you allow, with your permission, I'm going to sing a song. I'm going to sing a song before we wrap it up. And this is one of my favorite songs. It is a warrior song. This song, when I used to be alone and I had no one to talk to, and I would sulk, I would get into self-pity mode, sulk, not talk. I would continuously, time and again, in a loop, listen to this song, hear this song, and that at times gave me courage, right? So this song is from a movie called Gulal, and which has been sung and written by Piyush Mishra. And I'm going to sing this song for all of you. And this goes like, I'll start from the Antara and then move on to the Mukra, which goes like, मन करे सो प्राण दे, जो मन करे सो प्राण ले, वही तो एक सर्वशक्तिमान है. मन करे सो प्राण दे, जो मन करे सो प्राण ले, वही तो एक सर्वशक्तिमान है. विश्व की पुकार है, ये भागवत का सार है कि युद्ध ही तो वीर का प्रमाण है. कौरवों की भीड़ हो या पांडवों का नीड़ हो, जो लड़ सका है वो ही तो महान है. जीत की हवस नहीं, किसी पे कोई वश नहीं, क्या जिंदगी है ठोकरों पे मार दो. मौत अंत है नहीं तो मौत से भी क्यों डरे, ये जाके आसमान में दहाड़ दो. आरंभ है प्रचंड, बोले मस्तकों की झुंड, आज जंग की घड़ी की तुम गुहार दो. आन बान शान या की जान का हो दान, आज एक धनुष के बाण पे उतार दो. आरंभ है प्रचंड. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, कोई भी लक्ष्य मनुष्य के साहस से बड़ा नहीं, हारा वही जो लड़ा नहीं. थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर श्री लक्ष्मी फॉर टेकिंग टाइम आउट. वी लव यू एंड वी विल ऑलवेज लव यू. Ladies and gentlemen, do follow Dr. Sri Lakshmi at Doc Pingali on Instagram, and she is the senior consulting psychiatrist at Roshni Medical Counseling Center at Begumpet. So please feel free to reach out to her. She is one woman who has the magic and has the Midas touch. Love you all. I will see you all next Sunday. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay home, save lives. Corona ki maa ki aankh. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you.